There's so many good strategies here, but I'm only going to pick 10. Get it blacked out.
Yeah.
I think this is number 5. Is this number 5 that I'm saying now?
I don't
think
know,
it's
man.
number 5.
We'll say it's 5.
Get it blacked out. Now, why is it? I did this after I talked to you a while ago, and you'll see in my room, it's got like blackout, pretty much blackout.
Yeah.
There's a little light that comes through in the morning, but it's pretty dark.
Yeah.
Why is this important to have a room, pitch black so you can't even see your hand?
Awesome. Yeah. So, again, so that normal sleep cycle, just helping to support that. And your skin has photoreceptors that pick up light. And
Even the littlest amount of light.
Yeah, there was a study I put in the book that the room was otherwise pitch black, but they put just a tiny light behind somebody's knee.
No.
And it was enough. Yes.
Shut up.
It was enough to take them out of their normal stage of sleep. It's crazy, right? It's crazy. And so, because again, we've evolved in darkness, and it's not all light, it's unnatural light. Like moonlight, if you look at the lux, and I put a lux chart in the book, it's not even a problem, but that unnatural light. And so your skin has photoreceptors that pick up information and basically send it to your brain to secrete more daytime hormones, namely cortisol. All right. So your neighbor's porch light, street lights outside, that kind of stuff, this unnatural light, it's been dubbed light pollution now. So getting your room pitch black can keep that stuff out of your room, but also the internal light too. So if you've got an ugly alarm clock staring at you, that kind of stuff, you might want to consider, getting a dimmer shut off, or, throwing a blanket over it or something like that.
I like that. Okay. That was actually number 6.
Got it.
So this is number 7. Let's see. Train hard but smart. Number 7.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Awesome. Well, I think a lot of people know that a good workout can help you sleep. However, there's a difference between going to sleep and passing out, as we've mentioned. So a lot of people, I talk with Rich Roll, and if he doesn't do one of his, he's like running for days,
It's crazy.
If he doesn't do one of his workouts, like he says, his sleep isn't the same. And it's because of his cortisol rhythm, which he's changed, but that's a whole nother story. Bottom line is, there's a difference, number one, between going to sleep and passing out. And here's how to do this the right way. So this study done with Appalachian State University, they broke exercise up into 3 groups. Group A exercise at 7 a.m. in the morning. Group B, 1 p.m. Group C, 7 p.m. at night. Group A spent up to 75% more time in deep anabolic sleep.
Earlier in the morning.
So early in the morning, if you can get a workout in, it doesn't mean it has to be the time you hit the gym. You can work out in the afternoon, but that initial morning activity is important because, going back to our evolutionary biology, it encourages that normal cortisol spike.
So getting up and taking a walk.
Yeah, you could do a power walk. You can do a 4-minute Tabata session, do some body weight stuff, or you can do your full workout.
Air squats.
Yes.
Some yoga, stretching, whatever it may be.
You're helping to encourage that
movement.
normal cortisol.
First thing in the morning.
Yeah.
The first hour or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Interesting. And then what about the full workout? What about if you're like, okay, I'm going to do my hour workout today. When should that optimal time be?
If you want to do it in the morning, perfect. If it is and there wasn't much benefit to the afternoon as far as sleep is concerned, but in the evening there was some benefit. But it has to be the early evening. All right.
So if I do work out in the evening, it's okay.
If it's the early evening,
like 6, 7,
you need about 4 hours. So if your planned bedtime is 11, you need about 4 hours for your cortisol to get normalized and your core body temperature to come back down, which we talked about how important that is.
Yeah, because I'll work out and then I'll take a cold shower, but I'm still sweating an hour later.
Yeah, but cold showers are great help though to help to lower your core body temperature.
But
as
still,
well.
the burn is just
exactly.
like a big guy. You're still sweating, so that makes sense. Okay, so 4 hours after the workout, you should take before you go to sleep.
Right. And some people are like hitting, their jujitsu class at like 8 p.m. and then trying to get to sleep at 10. And
that's not optimal.
Yeah, it's not.
But it is good. You still get benefit if you go up till 7 o'clock or 4 hours before.
Right.
It's okay.
Just try and time it different. A lot of times that we get in issues with this is because we tell ourselves there's not another option. Right. We're infinite beings that have plenty of different ways that we can change things.
Gotcha. Okay. I believe that was 7. Okay. So number 8, use smart supplementation. What does that mean?
Ooh, man, this is a great chapter, man. This whole working in a clinic, people would sometimes see me like allopathic treatment. Like, what can I take? So I'm having problems with losing weight. What can I take for that? What can I take for my sleep? And that sent me down a path of research and some stuff. And some of the stuff I found it didn't feel good. One of the first things and the biggest supplement for sleep is melatonin. We talked about melatonin a lot already. Just because you could buy it at a natural food store doesn't mean that it's okay.
Not all melatonin is made equally. Is that what you're saying?
No, not that. This is a hormone, man. This is a hormone. Like you're taking a hormone. And so I cited a study in the book that right now, and there's a lot more being done on this, but right now what's seen clinically is that taking melatonin supplementation decreases the function of your melatonin receptor sites. So they start to downregulate. Basically, your body stops being able to use it. No, you can produce it, but your body won't be able to use it.
Oh.
All right, so
like taking creatine, where you like take so much creatine back in the day, and then it stops using it because it's
something like that.
Overload of creatine
something
or
like
something.
That.
Okay.
But yeah, man. So
you shouldn't be taking melatonin.
Ideally, not consistently. And this is coming out. Dr. Michael Bruce is somebody I mentioned in the book. Board certified sleep specialist and really smart guy, and he's recommended people to back off the melatonin. But I say everything has a place, everything has value. If you're changing time zones, if you're wanting to just kind of for a short term to help to set your normal sleep cycle, it can be okay. But getting that dependency on it and using too much, the amount that's in a normal, just everyday supplement is way too high.
Right.
And your body will start to downregulate. And so what do people do? They'll take more. So melatonin is not the way to go. The ideal way is to start with things that are natural first, things that have a storied, long lineage of use to the human body. You can start as simple as chamomile tea, can be really helpful.
Sure.
Clinically proven to be effective. Kava kava is another one. That's the national drink of Fiji, which Tony Robbins always come to mind when I think of Fiji. But it's been shown to be a mild sedative, as well as valerian. So these are three options. Then we can get into the chemical isolates, which I would do that later. But 5-HTP is effective. L-tryptophan. 5-HTP is a precursor to melatonin. So it gives your body the chance to do a step still and produce it versus you taking the end product and lowering your ability for your body to actually use it.
Gotcha. Wow, that's powerful. Okay. So that was number 8. Number 9, go easy on the bottle. What does that mean?
So this was one of the funnest chapters of the book, and wow, just some of the.
I'm assuming you're talking about alcohol.
This is alcohol, yeah.
What about my late night glass of wine, or going out to the bars and drinking until I'm passed out? That's not going to help me sleep better.
So here's what's so interesting is that the research shows that drinking alcohol before bed does in fact help you to fall asleep faster. Hands down, no doubt about it.
Yeah, it passes you out, right?
What also has been found is that you're not getting into normal REM sleep in particular. Your sleep stages are broken. This is why you wake up with what's known as a hangover, right? Because it's interrupting your sleep cycles. So you're passed out. You're physiologically sleeping, but your brain isn't doing the right processes.
Why not?
Right? The alcohol interrupts those. So one of the things that I mentioned earlier, and I didn't want to get into it, but adenosine, which we talked about in the book in regards to the caffeine. All right, so adenosine is this end product from your body. It's producing this compound to basically nudge you to go to sleep. And caffeine sits in the receptor sites for adenosine, so you don't really know you're tired, even though you are. All right, alcohol does something similar to that. So it makes you feel tired, even though physiologically you might not be ready to go to sleep for some people. So this has a lot to do with it, with the impact with the adenosine as far as alcohol is concerned. And so it does work, again, to put you to sleep, but getting good sleep, not so much. One of the other things that was fascinating about writing this chapter was looking at how similar sleep deprivation is to being drunk, and actually seeing right there statistical correlation between, and when you see this, man, the National Highway Patrol and all of the deaths that occur every year due to people falling asleep or driving while drowsy is shocking, because there isn't an easy test for that, as there is with testing with blood alcohol. And there was a great Mythbusters episode that I talk about in the book that actually showed, wow, like you can actually be even worse off if you're sleep deprived.
Of course, if you can't open your eyes.
Exactly. Right.
I mean, I'll wake up sometimes and I'll feel like drowsy and sleep deprived. I've never been drunk in my life, so I don't know what the feeling is.
Yeah.
But I think a few nights ago I woke up, I was coming back from an international trip for 2 weeks, so I was just waking up at 3 a.m. and it was just all off.
Yeah.
And I woke up and I remember just like walking around the room, like hitting the wall, and I'm like, man, I feel so drunk
Lewis,
right now.
That's what drunk is. That's what it feels like, man.
I don't know what it is, you know what I mean? So I can only imagine, when you don't have a stable footing and you're just like, where am I?
Yeah.
That's interesting. So
Yeah, but there are benefits to drinking, especially like you mentioned, drinking wine. Red
yes.
wine, the resveratrol. There's a lot of great benefits. It's just, how about we go for a happy hour, or how about you give yourself the opportunity? I talk about how to
Almost
do
like
this with some of
4
the
hours
strategies.
before you sleep, kind of
Yeah,
like
a
that.
couple, even two,
Okay.
and drink plenty of water to help your body to essentially flush it out. And when you're drinking alcohol, well, you don't know this, but you tend to go pee a lot. Your body's trying to eliminate the poison.
Sure.
And so just encourage that, just by drinking, getting really hydrated,
Mm-hmm.
and just giving yourself a couple hours before you go to bed. It's really that simple.
Gotcha. Okay, cool. So that was number 9. Number 10, let's do early to rise. Be early to rise. Why?
How about let's do the get grounded, since there's a correlation.
Let's do it. Get grounded.
This was the way your book kicked off, right?
Yeah.
And this is the way that mine wraps up.
I like it.
And it means psychologically, but also physiologically. And wow, this was some of the most fascinating research that I got to dig into. And I got to talk to Dr. Jeff Spencer, who's he's been on your show, right?
Yeah, he has.
Yeah. So, and he's directly connected to like 40 national championships, Olympic gold medals, Tour de France victories combined, all together with his coaching and his being a team physician for the Tour de France, for example. One of his leverage points and his kind of secret sauce was through utilizing grounding and earthing equipment. And so what is this? So getting grounded basically means getting your body connected with the Earth's surface. And again, me being very analytical, I'm not, I don't like to get too unicorn, but respect to that, there is some of that relevant in the world, but I want to see the science. Like, I want to know how it works. And so the Earth itself is brimming with free electrons, okay? And so your body is really operating off of this interesting combination of protons and electrons for events to happen. Yeah. So positive event in your body is an inflammatory event, basically. And you need inflammation to get better, to grow, right? To develop. Inflammation is actually good, but we don't want to go too far. Bringing an electron molecule into an inflammatory process, because what happens today is people are having too many inflammatory overreactions, right? So this is like autoimmune condition where your body's doing too much.
Yes.
And bringing an electron in basically neutralizes that inflammatory event. So one of the things that's seen is when you get grounded, and there's so much cool research on this, inflammation goes down. Your parasympathetic nervous system kicks on, right? And so there was a study done, and this was a Journal of Environmental and Public Health, and I cited this one in the book, that found that as soon as you get grounded, instantly your parasympathetic nervous system is turning on and your sympathetic nervous system is turning off. So what are those? Parasympathetic is basically your rest and digest system. Sympathetic is fight or flight. And most of us are chronically in this. It's a binary system. It's either off or on. You're not a little bit sympathetic. So getting grounded immediately does that. And why does that work? Human body's conductive, like it's not some magic. Right now, if somebody might be listening to podcasts, matter of fact, I'm gonna use a different example. Scary movies, right? One of the worst ways to go out is like you're taking a bath, and here comes Freddy Krueger, and he throws an electric device in the bathtub.
Yeah.
Right?
That would suck.
It sucks, right? Because we're conductive. We can be electrocuted because we're conductive. We can electrocute each other just with static electricity. It happens every day. You're very, very conductive. So that should help to kind of buffer that disconnection of like what's going on. You just can't see the electricity, the electrons coming from the ground, but they're there. So conductive surfaces are mainly like grass, dirt, soil. Concrete is a little bit conductive. Asphalt is not. Bodies of water is why we feel grounded and ideas come in the shower.
Yeah.
All right, because those pipes are grounded.
Sure.
All right. Sand, things like that. So getting your body in touch with those things. And that's why people feel so good when they go to the beach. They feel relaxed. They get better sleep. Yeah. Some people fall asleep at the beach. Of
course. Yeah, absolutely.
Because your body's actually getting, it's setting the circadian timing is getting back on track. So that's one thing. And also getting grounded. And this was so cool that I saw this. Clinically proven. And so let me preface this. So what Dr. Jeff was using was grounding equipment. So this is equipment that basically connects to the grounding prong in your outlets, and it's basically like sheets that align with this particular material that sends that energy basically to the human body. And so there's grounding mats. Like I think you have one. I got one for a buddy, John Lee Dumas, that he uses all the time. I have a mouse pad. There's grounding sheets. There's all this other cool stuff that basically connects you to the electrons that the earth is emanating. And so there was one study that I cited, getting grounded using this equipment. Number one, it lowered nighttime cortisol. So they monitored the person all night, the people all night long in the study, lowered nighttime cortisol. All right. And also it helped to normalize cortisol during the daytime. So they're not hyper fight or flight just by getting yourself grounded.
Right.
All right. So super powerful stuff. The inexpensive way to do it, which it helps if you're in California, it's so great to be. I was shoveling snow the day before I came here, but it's easy to get grounded. What other places, depending on the time of year, can be a little bit more difficult. But I encourage you to explore. If it's a little chilly outside and you've got a patch of grass in your backyard, still get out there, roll up your pants and do that. Or you can get yourself some of the earthing equipment that I talk about in the book.
Awesome. Okay.
And if you want to learn about the key foods you need to eat to master your health, make sure to watch this video right here.
Really? He's like, you were born with this.
This is something you just have to deal with. I'm
genetics
sorry. Yeah. And so, but it never sat right with me because he told me this has nothing to do with what I'm putting in my mouth. But then he wrote me a prescription to put some drugs in my mouth.